Where's that dot? Give me that dot. There we go.
There we
Hey,
go.
what's up, everybody? We are live for the Awesemo.com live before lock show, where we throw the word live in twice up front. So you know this isn't a recording. We are, in fact, real people here talking about a riveting 4-game MLB slate in front of us on this Wednesday. It's hump day. I'm Chris Spags, joined by my good friend, the Chubster himself, Mr. Josh Engelman. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Early slate went pretty well for me. And I'm hoping that I could carry that on here, but I'll probably end up with too much of that Rockies game, and then it'll get canceled, and I'll just piss away all my winnings. So, standard Wednesdays.
Yeah, I didn't play the morning slate because it was unconscionably early for somebody on the West Coast. So thank you, MLB, for your scheduling. Very appreciative. I was getting slacks at 8 a.m. about sending out our email newsletter, which you should sign up for. The daily game plan came out nice and bright and early for people, including me, who need early slate advice. So please go sign up. Any sort of Awesemo account, if you're a premium member or a free member, you'll get that email newsletter in your inbox every day, 6 days a week. So go sign up for our accounts now and get that. Whatever. We got 4 games. I guess let's just talk about these 4 games several times throughout the course of this hour and be asked the same questions by people again over and over again.
Just an FYI, the Angels lineup just dropped. So at the very least, all the lineups are out.
Oh, okay. Is there anything? Nothing. Oh, Tani up the lineup. That's good. Valbuena back in the lineup. Okay, I like that. That's something.
It's something.
People are really fixated on your tie lately. I noticed that people yesterday were disappointed that we weren't wearing ties. You feel like you set an unfair, weird benchmark for this.
Well, people yelled at me and told me I was trash, so I just put a tie on.
So you put on ties when people are accurate?
I liked my t-shirt, but it's not as if wearing crappy t-shirts is a new gimmick. It's been the gimmick since October, so I don't know.
Oh,
it's whatever.
Okay, good point.
It's whatever.
Good point. Let me see the Angels lineup. Okay, so yeah, the Angels, I think, interesting with these lefties in the lineup, getting a little more prominent placement. So I think that something to note given James Shields' worthlessness versus lefties. But let's talk about the games we do have in front of us. Some pitching options. Let's talk about weather first, I guess. What games are you currently afraid of, or are there any that you're currently afraid of?
Yeah, I mean, I'm afraid of Boston, Baltimore, and I'm super afraid of Houston, Colorado, but I think I'm probably just going to say YOLO and treat it like nothing's going to happen. I don't know. I mean, look, it's really a hard call because I'm not even sure I could fill all of my lines with legitimate lineups if I exclude Houston and Colorado. So I don't know. Look, I'm done with it. I'm just gonna go all 4 games, hope it plays, cross my fingers.
One thing just to answer real fast, HPT in the chat. James Shields overall in last year plus this season has been worse versus lefties and righties. I don't try to adjust for the in-season things because I tend to think it evens out over time. But, hey, go with your approach. But for me, his whip is 1.44 versus lefties versus 1.26 versus righties. XFIP 5.87 versus lefties versus 4.31 versus righties. So it's a bigger sample size, but the goal is to get the biggest sample size to actually figure out who the player is. So not biggest unnecessarily big, but big enough to get the whole look at it.
Let's take a peek at it. James Shields' last 2 years against lefties.
Okay.
That's 698 plate appearances. And he's got a 573 xFIP against lefty hitters. 152 whip. And he's been relatively lucky from a BABIP perspective. He's just really bad.
Yeah, there we go. So take that, HPT. I'll give you my nickname. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, James Shields not that great. Not a guy I'm necessarily stacking up against a ton tonight because I do think he's still better than the perception is. But if I were stacking with it, I would go with the lefties in the Angels lineups mostly. I guess what do we – for me in the weather, I guess to touch back on that again, I'm playing Price, which is probably the stupidest play of all, and not the bats for the most part. I don't know. I really don't like the weather in that game. I'm a little less worried about the weather in the Colorado game, but still there's flash flood warnings and thunderstorms and stuff, so that doesn't seem great. I mean, are we just going to play 2 games? I don't know what to do. It fucking sucks.
It really does, man. It's just, it's not fun. It's just not fun to have to deal with this shit. I don't understand why why we play baseball games outdoors. Or 162 of them, for that matter.
True. Well, I mean, and you get the weather stuff. I mean, like in the Oakland, Texas game, obviously the weather is going to be a big part of that game. He is going to, I don't know, he's going to maybe affect the lineups. So in that case, it is a plus. But then if it were in a dome, it would just be like nothing. So then, I don't know.
Do we really want weather to be an issue in baseball? Nobody was like, I know growing up, we would play, like most people, we would play like a Thanksgiving football game. And sometimes it would snow. And that was like the most fucking fun thing in the world, to play a football game in the snow. You know what's not fun to do in the snow or the rain or anything? Play baseball. It blows, no matter what. The only way baseball is fun is if you're playing in like 70-degree weather and there's a light breeze. Otherwise, it sucks. So
yeah, I'm with you.
We just don't need weather any longer. It's so silly.
I mean, every stadium should have a retractable roof. But the thing is, those are so expensive and then they break so easily, which is stupid because you're paying like $1 billion for that. It should seem like that should work. But I don't know. I like the idea of like you have open air stadiums, but I think they should all have the option to close off ideally.
If you want to have an open air stadium, put it in a place where it doesn't rain.
Well, so just here basically in LA,
San Diego.
Nowhere else. Well, whatever. Well, we got what we got. What are you doing at pitcher, accounting for all these stupid, terrible things?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna screw around with it at all right now. I'm just going balls deep into everything. So I've got a ton of Skaggs. I'm over the field there, but Charlie Morton's my dude. He was in the quick hits this morning. I've got a little over 50% of him. That's my spot. I'm mostly fading Bundy, like half the field. That's sort of like my line in the sand. I don't have any Edwin Jackson. I basically don't have any Shields or Perez. So
okay, so Skaggs we currently are projected to be the highest pitcher on the slate. Again, another spot. I'm not going to tout, but I did point out that Felix Pena sucked and that Zach Wheeler sucked, and Zach Wheeler was mediocre. So I mean, I guess that wasn't sucked, but Felix Pena was terrible, and I feel the same way about Skaggs. He's pretty bad versus righties. The White Sox went with a lot of switch hitters and righties up top. I actually like the White Sox righties to get off of that Skaggs chalk. I just don't want to play Skaggs too much at 50% owned. I mean, I get the logic necessitating it, but I'd rather try to pivot off of him because I don't think he's a fantastic pitcher.
Yeah, I have a ton of him. He's, like, without question, my number one for today. Love him.
To be clear, I don't think that Skaggs is Felix Pena, but I do think that there is sort of a similar narrative there where, again, people are going to target the White Sox. And then I think the White Sox aren't that bad. I mean, Moncada last night was really great. I had him in a lot of lineups, so I was happy with that. Had like, I think 20-something points. But the rest of the stack wasn't that great. I don't know that the whole stack's going to be that great tonight either, but I do think there are parts, the Garcia, Abreu, Davidson, I think are pretty interesting in particular. And if you wanted a full stack, throwing in Anderson or Moncada, I think works. I don't know. I want to leverage Skaggs. I think he's the worst of those guys who are actually going to play.
Weird, man. I figured you would like him because his name sounds like yours.
No, he's a competitor for the Ags brand.
I get it. You must protect your house, I guess.
What about stacks then? I talked a little bit about liking the White Sox stack. They're not my main one though, but who are you going with the most?
I'll tell you who I'm going with the least. That'd be the White Sox.
Whatever.
So basically, I have 4 teams on DK: Rangers, Angels, Red Sox, A's. That's it. I essentially don't have the Astros. That's my move for today. Yes. I have double the field on the Rangers and double the field on the Angels. So it's all that game, or those 2 teams for right now.
Yeah, I think for me, it's also a lot of Oakland and Texas. I think we have Oakland currently projected to be the highest owned, and justifiably so. Martin Perez grades out pretty much the worst, I think, a pitcher on the slate. Unless, I know, Josh, you hate Edwin Jackson more, but Perez to me versus righties grades out pretty badly in a way that Jackson grades out just slightly less badly.
They're both utter dog shit.
I would agree with that. They're not good. Though Jackson has had moments of not greatness, but whatever is far short of greatness, but slightly better than mediocrity. He's had a few moments of that. He had his last outing we discussed actually, where you were like very anti Jackson, and he ended up putting up a pretty okay performance. I think he had like maybe 20 fantasy points. I don't know.
Blind squirrel, not you know that.
There's strikeouts on the Rangers side, so I would think if I were going to fade either of those guys, or either of those stacks, I'd probably more inclined to fade Texas, just because I think Jackson is a little more capable of putting up an okay game than Perez is. Perez just looks bad to me, like unequivocally bad.
I fucking hate Edwin Jackson so much. Oh my god. I just keep singing "I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson" in my head.
I mean, are you for real?
I am.
I hope so. Hope you never make her daughter cry.
Never meant to play him in a line, I guess.
Best GP. Oh, Jeremy just talking about his day at length. Thanks for being a girl, Jeremy. We really appreciate hearing about it. No, congrats on your success, but shut up. What time is your final update for the ranking/ownership pages? Typically, they go until lock, and sometimes, or after lock for the late slates. So they're always being up.
Both updates that are up now, I would imagine, won't change again. They just got updated in the last 10 minutes, and since there aren't any more lineups, I would imagine they won't change again.
Right, but generally they are sort of a fungible thing, and especially in a day like yesterday where a guy like James Paxton gets scratched, there might be 3 or 4 updates in that last hour. But generally, before we come on the air, it's usually pretty similar to where it's going to be.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Jackson is a disgrace to baseball despite his impressive run so far. Okay, fair enough.
Been lucky. That's all it is. Got a horseshoe jammed up his ass.
You guys said, I assume that means Gomber wasn't going to be shit last night. I was less on that side than Jake and Josh might have been, but
I had a little bit of him actually.
Yeah, I didn't think he was as good as Ponce de Leon, but he was. I think was he better than? I think he was better than Ponce de Leon.
I have no idea. I don't ever go back and look, especially on days where I have like no interesting results. I was down $10 yesterday. Like I just don't care. I treat it like it never happened.
Okay. Jeremy being a whiny girl again. I don't like you, man. I'm sorry. You just talk too much. But thanks for being a watcher. Really appreciate that. But just talk less.
I'm sure he's going to be really happy after that one, man.
Well, don't talk shit in the chat. Can't take it. And also, if you're going to be annoying. Vic Cashadorian just got monthly premium membership. Alex's great insight on pitcher and hitter stack and ownership projections. Thanks, Vic. I would agree. If you are a premium member, Alex has his article up where he breaks down his lineup card today. Obviously not the most fertile ground given the lack of games, but he does have his approach to all of the 4 games as well. In particular, how he would handle Skaggs relative to some of the other pitchers. So go check that out if you are premium. Let's see. Boston game happening. I guess if we had to bet on the Boston game occurring, Boston game is clear. I don't think Boston game is clear, Bob McIntyre.
I'd say, I don't know, 95%.
To playing?
Yeah.
Seems high.
I think it's going to be fine.
Okay. I would say closer to a 60-40 shot, and I would worry about the pitching in that too. I mean, I'm playing a little bit of price, but I think that the weather charts that I saw that it was going to be worse after like 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. So the bats may be able to get something going in that first hour, but I would worry about it getting undercut. And then, I mean, I don't know. It depends on if they get enough in for the game to count or not.
Yeah, I would be more likely to want the pitching in that game than the hitting. Like, I don't know. I think it's going to play regardless, so I'm not treating it any differently.
Okay. Fair enough. Let's see. NFL DK salary is out when we start going over NFL content. Bill Butlicker, we're doing that every week. Josh and I will be doing running backs tomorrow and putting a video together, including a very long article breaking down each running back, but probably not talking prices until the second or the third or fourth week of August, because I don't think we're doing preseason. So I don't know, actually. Do you know anything about that?
What, preseason?
Yeah.
I'm not doing preseason.
Are we gonna? I don't even know if we're gonna have projections. I assume we will have something, but I haven't heard anything yet about it. So if nothing else,
I'm not lighting money on fire for that one.
no, I'm not either. I don't even know how you'd play that with the one quarter and then you have to, I guess, play mostly second string guys. I don't know. We're just looking at the regular season. I did an ungodly amount of research today on running backs to kind of firm up everything I was writing. So we'll have stuff, but they probably won't be price dependent kind of daily fantasy stuff until a little later when we get closer to the regular season.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about individual players because we talked about the stacks in general. Tamar Green bringing up one of my guys who's a favorite of mine today, Mark Canha. Which guys in each stack do you feel like? Let's see, out of Oakland, let's start there. Which guys do you think are the most successful, or the ones that you have the most of right now in your lineups?
Simeon and Pinder are the two guys I have the most. I'm kind of underweight on the A's, so I don't really have anything else there for me. Like, I have barely any Chris Davis, and he's pretty popular today.
See, I do like Chris Davis, but I actually I wouldn't say faded him. I didn't include him in every stack because I think he's going to be so highly owned, and obviously he strikes out an ungodly amount. But I do like the righties in that lineup in particular. Perez, much worse versus righties, gives up a ton of home runs. So I think I do like that stack. But
I like it. I just don't like it as much as the public.
Okay. I like Canha, and I do like the bottom half of the stack as well as the top half of it. So I think there are ways to go.
I have a few. Like, the A's are one of the 4 teams that I have a ton of. Yeah, I have 11% of Canha. So I'm close to the field. I'm like a notch below the field across the board.
You know what? Let's do home run picks while we're doing this because it's a graceful transition for me because I'm picking Mark Canha.
Speaking of home run picks, yeah, someone called the Tucker Barnhart home run today, like yesterday. They're like, I got one for tomorrow. Tucker Barnhart. I don't remember who it was, but then I saw him go yard. I was at Lowe's, and I was like, what the fuck, man? This guy got the almanac or something.
Yeah, I mean, Tucker Barnhart, a fine catcher. Maybe that guy's just been calling that every day.
Maybe.
Who knows? If you're going to keep whining, you're not a paying customer right now, and you're just annoying. So get muted. Sorry, dude. I don't like people who dominate the chat with their own bullshit. No one cares.
Arcana.
But me most of all.
45th out of 70.
Everyone.
So below the average. We're getting there. We're slowly pushing you up.
There we go. Whatever. Chu was a fine pick yesterday. I defended my Asian American brethren and just Asian brethren, and we did well. We did well at pitcher, did pretty well at pitcher, did okay at hitter, so I felt good about it. Whatever.
Yeah. I'm still mad that I picked Logan Morrison, but didn't pick Logan Morrison.
Oh, yeah, you're on a cold streak now. Our boy Jake, the baseball savant Hari, is riding about like a 3-game streak. So or three or four, something like that. Making up for his early season malaise, but I don't know. I don't know who he's picking today. Not Mark Canha, hopefully.
Yeah, I gotta pick somebody now too.
Oh, Andrew Benintendi is the baseball savant's pick, so take that one to the bank.
Okay. I'm gonna go.
Don't take Josh's pick though.
I'm gonna go with Rafael Devers.
Oh. So you're targeting old Jakey again, huh?
I didn't even mean to do that on that one.
Well, there we go. We got Mark Canha for me. We got Andrew Benintendi for the baseball savant, Jake Hari. And we have, Rafael Devers for the loser, Josh Chubster Engelman.
Coming, people.
Odd Slee. I love how mean you are, Spags. Haha, it makes my day. I'm really only mean to, like, a very small percentage of people, but it's also because some people fatigue me. Like, I want to hear from all of you guys and not have one person who thinks the world revolves around them dominate the chat. Like, it doesn't work well like that for us.
The irony of that statement.
I don't like dominating the chat either. I just have to talk while somebody else is crunching and masturbating in the background all day.
Oh, man. All right, DraftKings, here we go. Last crunch, I hope. Ooh, a Kevin McKay. Oh my God, Devers is due. What up, Kevin? What up?
Does the concept of playing due factor into, or being due factor into your home run model?
It does when Kevin tells me it should.
I hope so. I think that as long as Kevin McKay is on board, it sounds like a successful name.
I knew a Kevin McKay from back home. Are you him?
I hope so. That'd be quite the irony.
I'm almost positive that it's not.
Corey Corsi asking, also fun name, Corey Corsi. Playing two pitchers in the same game, does that make sense? Today in particular, yes. In general, it's also fine. But, if you like them, sure. I think there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get away from on days like today.
Yeah, today just make the best plays because there's so few games and also games with weather concerns. So just do whatever you can to make the guys you think have the best shot. Who has the coolest name on the night? He's getting the dong. There's not a lot of cool names tonight. Probably Avisail Garcia. I do like that name. Avisail, that's unique.
I mean, none of the guys that have like fun names have particularly like new names to us. Like Xander Bogaerts is one of the coolest names I've ever heard, but he's also good.
I would like it more if he didn't have the E in his last name. Like if it were just Bogar.
Oh, I like the E is like the appeal to me. Like Jurickson Profar, I think is an awesome name, but again, not that interesting.
Brock Holt is a cool name, but like a cool name for like a high school bully or jock.
Like the dude from Arrested Development?
Yeah, like Steve Holt. Yeah, he could be part of the Holt family, sure. Jed Jerko not on the slate, but he does have a good name. Actually, there was a thing. My friend works for MLB's social media, and they have their cut for Twitter, which does weird stuff. And they did like the weirdest or the coolest, I forget how they position it, baseball names. And there was a guy whose name was like Dick Shot. I forget what it was, who won it all. Like it was like a 1920s player whose name was like Gary Dick Shot.
I don't want to Google that. I might get a virus.
Let me see if I can pull it up fast. I'm pretty sure it was like maybe Jack Dick Shot, which would be
okay. Come on now, man. You're just making shit up now.
It's loading.
What was this guy named Jack Me Off?
No, Johnny Dick Shot.
Good for him, man. That must have been an interesting life.
Johnny Dick Shot beat out Cannonball Titcomb for spelled Titcomb for the title. Other names involved were Pretzel, Pizzulo, Mysterious Walker, Sugar Cane, Coco Crisp made the list. That's a guy we know. Chicken Hawks, Budweiser, Razor Shines, Phenomenal Smith, Wonderful Terrific Mons. That should have gone further than it did.
Yeah, God, names are ridiculous.
I like Mysterious Walker too. That sounds like a Clue character.
Is he in the billiard room?
In the billiards room with a Q.
Kick's good. I'm playing all those games with the high chances of rain. YOLO! I think I did that right. Did I say that with the right enunciation?
Yeah, that was fair. YOLO.
You ought to look out.
Ohtani or Upton for a DKGPP? Who would you go with?
I'm running my crunch now. I would imagine my answer is Ohtani.
Yeah.
Projecting less ownership. And I got 52% Ohtani on FanDuel, so I'm just figuring it'll carry over.
I too like Ohtani tonight. Again, for the lefty-righty matchup that we discussed before. I think that's a pretty good spot for him, and Ohtani has shown he can match that just this week, in fact. Rusty Kuntz is the best player name ever, according to T-Lish. That is a good one, which they did not include, I presume, because that might have, for some reason, Dick Shot's okay, but Kuntz is not okay. That's why feminism has more work to do, I guess.
Nice.
I meant that in a positive way. Like we're not there yet if we can't get Rusty Kuntz in the or Kuntz in the.
If you're gonna say it like that.
Trout is Corey Corsi's home run call. Thanks, Corey Corsi.
How's that limb you
like...
went out on, Corey?
It's a tough one.
He probably took Bonds when he was hitting 73 in a season too.
What pitchers do you guys like outside of the top 3 guys? That's a tough one, Tickly Fingers.
I don't like any of them. At least on FanDuel. I've got 97% of my exposure in Skaggs, Price, and Morton. So
yeah, I like Morton, and I like Morton. Everything else is kind of fungible. Ugh, ugly slate. Bruce, Shields. MXM, touting James Shields. Sure, MXM. Be contrarian. I'm with it.
YOLO.
How do you get that team stacks tab besides players in Cruncher or in Muncher, Josh? Brandon T's asking.
You gotta tug off the owners. Look, man, it's a 4-game slate, and we got to fill the time somehow. Now, it's part of the Fantasy Cruncher beta. If you go to Fantasy Cruncher's forum, there's a post somewhere about it. You have to like change your avatar and stuff, but I obviously didn't do that.
I thought you did it, and I was going to call you a sheep.
No, I didn't. I just said, hey, do you mind giving me the beta without me changing my avatar? And they were like, yeah, that's fine. Here you go, bud.
Hey, why don't you ask, hey, would you mind giving my live stream partner who doesn't want to promote your thing free membership in perpetuity?
That's above my pay grade, man. Talk to the boss.
Whatever. Fuck them. I don't need their optimizer anyway. Especially on a slate like this. I don't need your optimizer at all. So take that, Fantasy Muncher.
Take that.
Best player for first/catcher position on, I presume, FanDuel.
We're getting there. All right.
Oh. It's a real slow day, guys.
It is. Catcher or first? Shit, that's not. There we go. Nope, that's not right. Pujols probably for me. Highest projection is either Steve Pearce or Matt Olson, but Pujols is the guy I have the most of.
These optimizers or schemes, bet on your damn self, people. I mean, I would say that the optimizers themselves aren't schemes. In fact, they're pretty necessary if you were a person max entering any sort of sport. But using them just their projections straight away is not the best approach, because then you're going to have the same numbers as everybody else. Yeah,
this is not a scheme. This is the only way that I would be able to do this. I don't use Fantasy Cruncher's projections. I use my own. They are just a tool. It's like Fantasy Cruncher is no different than Microsoft Excel for me.
Should do a stream somewhere chill in LA and can watch games after. Awesemo live event. I don't even know how to what.
What do you want us to do like a live stream somewhere, like a live podcast.
Oh, yeah, I agree. They should pay for us to do that.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll fly me straight out there for that one.
Yeah, I agree.
Considering I'm about as far away from Spags as I could possibly get right now without leaving the country.
True. We are like the exact opposite points of America.
And then we've got Jake all the way up here in fucking no man's land riding the roller coaster at the Mall of America.
Wearing his Cubs shirt.
Yeah.
What a traitor. What a traitor to the Minnesota Jakes. John Rader, you are right. You listen to these guys, spew their intelligence, suck out what you like, put them in and make your lineups. Yes, that is the approach I would advocate for any channel, but especially ours, in which we often just talk about things to think about them. Like, the White Sox perhaps not the best stack on paper or in real life tonight, but you should think of that way because it's a fucking 4-game slate. Like this, I'm going to get animated just to fill the time. But no, like you have to think differently to win tournaments, especially when it's a limited option. So yesterday the Pirates. If you had the Pirates, you would have had a really good night. They were very, very low owned, and people were not considering them. People might have laughed at you if you went with the Pirates in that matchup, but instead,
spoiler alert, I had 0.
I didn't have any. I think I had maybe one off Dickerson, but I didn't have any others. But we talked about it on the stream, and I was like, I do like them a lot. And then I think Jake shushed me down.
Well, I remember when you said it, actually. And then I looked at it, and I was like, oh, fuck, I don't have any of these guys. Oh, they grade out like shit. Who needs them anyway? And then immediately it was just like laser show.
Yeah, like pretty fast too. They all put up like Polanco and Marte.
All of a sudden, the
and
whole
Dickerson
lineup
all
had a home run, and I was like, all right, cool. I'm not in on this game. Hope something else hits.
Yeah, I was happy with my little Mets stack in the beginning, and then that actually ended up being okay because I had that with like Barrios and Tanaka. But still, it was just a weird stack night. You gotta think contrarian. That is a very important part of this all. Thinking differently in game theory. GTO, like that annoying guy who's muted forever now would say.
You're the worst.
I really don't like that guy. I don't know why. To some people, it's really rare, but there's some people the second they start typing, it's just like, oh, just stop, please.
We're not even speaking. It's just text. This could be the same person over and over. This might not even be a real chat. That could just be a bot. You're gonna argue with a bot.
That's probably what Elon Musk would think, that it's probably artificial intelligence just chatting with us, but we're also artificial intelligence.
Speaking of, this is completely off topic. So I play a game called No Man's Sky. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's basically like infinite space. You go around to like random planets. It's crazy. Anyway, you can take like screenshots from different perspectives. So somebody took one of like a dinosaur looking thing and his spaceship flying off. They just dropped a brand new patch for the game yesterday, and like basically your old saves are pretty much useless, and somebody was like, yo, I wonder if that's how the dinosaurs went away for real, like God patched the game and like wiped out the dinosaurs. And I was like, oh no. I was so barbecued when I read it, and I was like, that's probably what happened, right? Like that's where the dinosaurs went. They just got upgraded to people. I fucking freaked out, man.
We've talked. It's a slow show, guys. We'll do some either ors as we get closer to the lock time or whatever. I don't know. But while we're talking about the subject, so I do think that's not a crazy thing to think. But we discussed on this live stream before when I did shrooms not that long ago, and you see the connectivity around the world, and like ever since that I noticed stuff like that. Like if I'm walking, like today in the hallway of my apartment, there was this like eye drop thing which I used to have to use when I had a corneal tear. And like I saw it on the floor and I was like, that's weird. It's exactly my eye drops I used to have. But then I was like, does that mean my eye's going to tear again soon? Like, am I going to have an issue? And I do think life gives you clues, and maybe the dinosaur video game was a clue.
Yeah. Look,
I don't know.
It freaked me out, man. It freaked me out so bad.
I'm just saying, you got to think about it. Got to think about it all differently, including DFS. So there we go.
Wow, dude, I love baseball. Shrooms are permanent, usually in a good way. That is so 100% true. It's insane. I got like 80% good out of it and 20% that I'm still hashing out 2 years later. I carry that shit around like a fucking sandbag on my back.
For me, they were very affecting as well. So I'm with you on that, even though I would be very unlikely to ever do them again because of how trapped in my own brain I was in a terrifying way.
Try asking your wife to call the police for you. See how well that goes.
Anthony Hunt, is Morton Skaggs the way to go? I mean, that is a way to go. It is probably the best pitchers on the slate, but it is also going to be the two highest owned pitchers on the slate. So, you know.
Yeah, look, I have a ton of Morton. I have a ton of Skaggs. They're my two favorites. That said, like, you know, if you were trying to be a little bit more unique. Well, look, it's a 4-game slate. I'm playing almost everything.
Is Moncada better versus lefty or righty? Our boy Andrew, is asking. He's much worse. Hold on. In the matchup he's in tonight, hold on.
He's really bad against lefties.
Yeah, he's very bad against lefties, like in a very noteworthy way. That's also why they bumped him down the order today, I believe. So yeah, no, I would not go Moncada tonight unless you're doing a full stack. I would be more inclined, even if you are doing a full stack, to skip him and go to Davidson, just because he is a little better versus a lefty than Moncada is.
Ochi Blue, I have so many questions for you, but really, you shouldn't have done that. What are you, Doc Ellis? Jesus.
Wow.
Oh my God. I don't want to leave my house.
It depends on if it was a microdose, because my friend, so the day I did shrooms, I had microdosed with my friend first, who's like a tech guy, and he works for like a big startup down in Atlanta. And he was like, yeah, it's so popular in the Valley, like to microdose. So, like I did the microdosing, went to the gym. That felt physically weird because I felt much stronger, but mostly because I just couldn't feel the weight that I was squatting and stuff. So that was weird. So I could see how maybe there'd be a performance benefit from like a microdose. A full dose, I don't know what.
Yeah, I can't imagine popping 3 grams and thinking that soccer ball wasn't just like moving while it laid there still.
Yeah, I was terrified to leave the house. Like I wanted to try just to know, like when we did the full dose, and I was like, no, that's not a one to go for. It's not a move. So playing a soccer game, get out of here, or a hockey game, or whatever.
Apparently, screw DFS. This is the how to do psychedelics conversation, and we have 240 people, so it's going great.
It's a Friday stream on a Wednesday. Also, since we have people, just a reminder, we are taking applications, or rather, nice applications. Resumes for anybody who wants to be our social media / community manager. So please email me, chris@awesome.com. Email me a very professional cover letter and a very professional resume with your interest and why you would do it. Basically, the role is just, doing our social media links, maybe some sort of monitoring of the chat. Who knows? Just all sorts of fun stuff. So it's a good way to get your foot in the door here. A good way to work with both Josh, me, Jake as well. Learn, all sorts of DFS stuff by osmosis from Alex and Tom, our COO, and Eddie, all of our great professional player DFS guys who are working here. So email me if you want to be a social media manager for Osmo. It's a full-time job, paying surprisingly well for that type of position. So chris@osmo.com. You guys play the golf DFS? I do not. Do you, Josh?
I don't, but I'm going to start. I had another plug, actually.
Okay. Oh, iTunes, yes.
Yeah, sign up for our iTunes podcast. So the night shift is there every night. You'll get that to your phone immediately from Jake or from me if it's Sunday night, Monday morning. They're going to go back to YouTube, but we'd highly recommend you go here. This is going to be a place that gets a lot of content moving forward. So subscribe. Very helpful to us. Hey, like and give 5 stars. Whoever's been liking and giving 5 stars, thanks so much.
Yeah, please rate it 5 stars, subscribe, do that. It'll also have our NFL videos, which are a little long to watch on YouTube sometimes, but probably possibly better on podcast form. Just me and Josh just talking football, going team by team. So in addition to Jake's Night Shift, you get those as well on that feed right now. So go sign up. Just search Awesemo on your podcast app. It'll come up. AWESEMO.
I don't like the update to the Boston-Baltimore game.
What is it now?
Don't think starting pitchers are safe at all. Increasingly worried about the bats.
All right, well, time to get off David Price and go to, I don't even know. Yes, you know what this reminded me of today with doing lineups was a little bit of the showdown games, because there were a couple of lineups I made rather where I just was fading guys who were at the appropriate price just to get to a guy, including David Price, ironically enough. But just fading guys like that just to be contrarian and get to a guy who's maybe not going to get rained out or get a full game in. So don't be afraid to get weird with your lineups tonight if you are going to not play Boston and Baltimore.
Yeah, I don't want to do the work to fix it. So I just hope it works out.
First NFL contest. So the NFL contests out now are for preseason, right? Aren't they? Or is it regular season?
I think the one that came out today was for the regular season, but honestly, yeah, it is. It's for September 9th. I didn't look at it because I don't care right now.
Okay.
None of it's relevant.
You care because we're doing videos about them, but yeah, no, I'm excited for NFL season. I've done more research, I think, than any human being on earth about this regular season. It is really making my brain bleed. I wrote all day today about running backs. I made a spreadsheet I was telling Josh before we got on the air for some statistical analysis of guys and how they do yards per target, stuff like that. Yeah, so go check that out tomorrow on Osmo.com, and we'll have more price-based stuff later in the year.
The old 20 max 792,000 entries tournament. Can't wait.
That.
Can't wait.
See, I like those ones. I don't like these ones where it's max 150 because I never play 150. Just from structurally from us doing a live stream, which I'm sure will be the same for football season. I don't do 150s, so I like 20 because at least I have the same amount of bullets in my chamber as our bosses. I don't know.
I'll have 150 in there, and I'll hate myself for it.
I
Or
will.
well, not in that one, but in the things that we're doing.
Yeah, no, we'll see. I just, I'll have my handful of lineups in the Millionaire Maker just because that's what's fun, and I'll do the rest in the play action or whatever. And yeah, 20 max is great. Keep it 20 max.
If I enter the Millie Maker this year, I want somebody to come and punch me in the face.
Look, you got to take a shot.
That tournament is lighting money on fire big time.
Hey, you know what? If I help contribute to some guy I don't know who played all Pittsburgh people, like was in all those FanDuel and DraftKings commercials, then so be it.
All right, get your questions in, people, because I don't have anything else to talk about now, and we've already gone through the this is what happens when you do shrooms conversation. So
actually, I have more to talk about. So, so one thing, I don't like DraftKings' new app update. It's weird how they're trying to gamify like the amount you gamble.
I like it actually. Gives me another thing to pay attention to. I like role-playing games.
I don't like it when it's I don't know. I don't like it when it encourages people to throw like those idiots who spend $2,000 because they're idiots. They don't even know they don't know what they're doing. Like I don't think you should encourage that.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. People are gonna ruin their own lives. I don't mind.
Well, if you are chasing those XP based things, it's basically if you haven't seen the DraftKings update, it is it's like an RPG where you build up experience points by playing more, and there's like little gamified kind of logos and stuff, and it sort of looks like the free to play iTunes apps where you just basically like build up a guy somehow, or try to think what else is a comp, or whatever, any sort of role playing game really. I don't know, just seems like a slippery slope to addiction. Game responsibly, MXM. I agree.
I don't know what I was going to say. It was probably worthless. Anyway.
Shane Hall wants to know the best stack of A's. I think it's any stack you want to make, Shane Hall, but they're going to be very highly owned, so keep that aware. And make sure you include Mark Canha, the home run pick of the day. A mortal lock to hit a home run.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll suck.
I'm surprised he's so low on your rankings like that. I didn't like that.
Why wouldn't he be?
He hits a home run 6% of the time versus lefties, and Perez gives up 1.5 per 9 innings.
Yeah,
2 righties.
I'm good.
Whatever.
I'm good.
You're a real jerk.
Look, you act like I knew you were gonna pick him and put him down the list.
I think you retroactively fitted your model, so my picks, especially my Asian picks, which very racist off your model, grade out particularly poorly. I don't love it.
What are you gonna do?
I'd pick Rob Refsnyder today if I could.
Man, I hope the Astros suck tonight.
Besides Bundy, who is your favorite value pitcher for DK GBP? I don't even think we have Bundy as a value pitcher. I would say if you're throwing darts against the board, it would be Edwin Jackson for me, but not a great play at all. In fact, probably a bad play.
It's either Gray or Bundy.
Why do you see lineups in single entry that are filled with guys that are not playing?
Because they put in placeholders and didn't go back and check them. Been there before. That was a classic Josh stream back in the day before I joined Osmo.
I think I do remember watching that one where you had you were playing DraftKings for a rare time, right?
Yeah, and I didn't get the CSV loaded in time, so I had like $75 in contests of just fucking guys on like the injury report and shit. Kyle Singler guys and stuff, guys that aren't in the league.
McCod harkening back to my Tim Quarterman play, which is another one which I'll always hold near and dear, where I'd spent I think maybe 10 minutes on a stream hyping him up because he graded out well for me and looked good statistically, and then he got cut before the game. That was an upsetting one.
And that feels like it was forever ago.
We've done so many of these streams by now. I don't even want to know how many you've done, but I know for me, 5 a week for 4 months now, 3 months, a lot.
Yeah, they add up, man. I was doing 2 a day for a while.
I was out of the league when he wasn't out of the league yet, McCod. He was still in the league firmly. He just you had to get weird during end of season NBA. That's what it was.
Yeah, they were in a back room telling him about it at the same time, you were like, dude, he's going to be great tonight. It's like, yeah, he's not even on a team anymore, man.
I hope somehow like he felt that positive energy and it paid off in his life.
Yeah, I'm sure he's probably just playing in the basketball tournament or something right now.
Probably. How do you feel about I guess how do you feel about the Angels? People asked about Pujols, people asked about Valbuena. If you were playing Angels, which would be your favorite ones?
Well, I am. They are my number one stack on DraftKings. I am playing all of them except for David Fletcher by all accounts. I have 2 to 3 to 4 times the field on everybody.
Okay. For me, I like the lefties more. I like, especially with like Calhoun and Ohtani up top as maybe part of a mini stack. Because again, I think people overstack against James Shields, but I think there's really not anybody who grades out poorly, especially on a slate like this. I wouldn't advocate against anyone on that team. They all look pretty okay. Maybe Briseño is my least favorite out of them, but even him, who cares?
Makad, do you feel like the Rockies are going under-owned? I have 50%. Well, hold on. I have 6% less than the field. So if you think they're under-owned at the field, I don't even want to know how you feel about my selections.
Shark, who was a Washington player that I hyped during the playoffs, it was Kelly Oubre, but I stand by that one. The opportunity was right.
I liked that Kelly Oubre play on that particular day.
It was the right play. Otto Porter was out. It was the right move. It just didn't work out. Oh, Ty Lawson. Yes, Ty Lawson I did hype too, but not as much. Ty Lawson was more of a like if you're getting cute. I don't know if you noticed, I like getting cute, both physically and with my DFS plays.
One day you'll get there.
How do you perform during NFL? Competently. NFL's tough though.
Abruptly, like everything else I do in life.
I would say, I don't want to speak for Josh. My best sport is NBA. For me, MLB has been the second one, and it's probably been more profitable than NBA at points for me. But I don't know. And then NFL, I would say, is a third. But I know it the best. I just am the least good at fantasy, at least before.
NFL is just a necessary evil, in my opinion.
Jesus. It's a downer worldview for a fun sport and a fun game.
It's not either of those things. It's certainly not a fun sport. God, they call it the no fun league, for Christ's sake. It's literally the opposite of a fun sport.
I enjoy football, and I enjoy having skin in the game for football because I watch football all day, and I'm at the bar or at home, whatever, just sitting around watching it. So I enjoy football DFS a lot. And then regular season,
like the tradition aspect of it, though. It's not so much football anymore. It's that like it gives people something to do on a Sunday. Not that like people are so enamored with football. I think
there's a little fatigue with the schedules and stuff, and also putting shitty games in the like prime time spots where they like the Thursday games being so bad didn't help, and that being the biggest exposure that people had to the league a lot of the time. But I still like it. I still enjoy the process. Regular season fantasy, like or season long, I've gotten extra good at that since playing DFS, because I think if you play DFS at all, you're just going to have an advantage on your friends who are only checking stuff once or twice a day, or once or twice a week. So I like fantasy football, and I've done more research than anybody on the planet Earth about quarterbacks and running backs thus far. Wide receivers next week. I'm going to know them all.
Here's a question for you. So we're probably going to do like early morning live streams for NFL on Sunday. Do you think it'll be a problem if I kneel during all of it?
I mean, you can be on your knees as much as you want with me, Josh.
Get ready, buddy. Get ready. You're going to be severely disappointed.
If you're going to play any players on the Sox 1 through 4 and hope they dong at first at bat, yeah, I mean, that's probably about right for if you're stacking that Boston-Baltimore game.
Yeah, I have a ton of the top of the lineup, and the bottom of the lineup.
Aaron D, White Sox stack to be different. I agree, Aaron D. Dare to be different. Be bold.
I'm just willing to burn the money today. I just don't care enough.
Burn the money on the White Sox.
I'm burning... Let's see. How much do I have? I've got 4% Tim Anderson and 4% Abreu. That's the most I could do.
Nah, man. Nice 1 through 4. And go down to Matt Davidson. Just like Mama used to make. when she would make DFS lineups out of shitty teams on 4-game slates. What hurts more, the 28% the government takes from your DK winnings at the end of the year, or the contest break, which grinds you every day? I don't really think about either, but I feel like I only remember the big scores and the big near scores. Everything else is just fungible, and I just try to break even.
I mean, it's just like, I don't get angry every time I get a paycheck from a normal job.
I do.
It's just taxes. It's fucking back to life. Do I wish I could pick where they went? Sure. But, whatever. That's
one of my social theories, that I feel like people would hate paying tax less if you just pick where it went to. Like I don't want, this is going to sound a little bad. I don't necessarily want money to go to welfare, because I don't really, that's not my jam. But schools, I would like I know teachers, and I know they have to buy supplies. I'd rather teachers not have to buy their own supplies for their fucking kids, so the kids can not be as much of an idiot as their parents are.
Yeah, I'm not going to go down that one.
So I agree. I think that would be good for that. But I still hate taxes. I've enjoyed being a consultant more, where I don't get taxed and I can just kind of sort my own taxes out later on, instead of being an employee as I currently am. How many innings does the Baltimore-Boston game gonna last, do you think?
Hopefully 9. Hopefully 9.
For me, I would say, just because of the chances of it petering out at about 8, I think we said before. So if it peters out at around 8, I would say that's a 4-inning game, and you're hoping you get enough to get the actual game to count.
Yeah, I just hope the game gets in 5 innings. I don't really give a shit one way or the other after that.
I have 4 tickets for the $8 August 11th baseball tournament. Is that a high payout? I have no clue about that, Corey Corsi. That is 2 weeks away.
I don't even know which site it is.
Yeah. That's true. There's a lot of questions left, Corey. But appreciate you all the same. See, I don't know why. It's just some people I just don't like, and he's not one of them. Corey, go ahead. Talk about whatever tournaments you want. I don't care. But that other guy talking about his shit, fuck you. Go away.
The worst.
It's unfair. I'm an unfair dictator of the live chat. I'm sorry, guys.
Plenty of fair dictators out there, though.
True. I think, actually, you know what? I would say I'm a fair dictator. I give a warning. I usually articulate my displeasure. And also, some people I don't like, I write out. That Antoine Murphy guy is still around the chat sometimes. And that guy's a real dullard.
Dude, you are the worst, man. You're the worst.
Where do you go for the highest payout tournaments? I don't know. Both sites are pretty close to even.
Draft Street?
Playline.com/.
Yeah, there you go, man. That's a good plug. Playline.com/r/Osimo. Fuck, man. We should do that more often. That was good.
Favorite dictator? How about a top 5 list? I'd probably go Mao up top. Idi Amin would be strong up there because of the last king of Scotland, as we've discussed on the stream once before.
I
Mussolini because of the Italian
I don't know
thing.
anything about these people. I don't follow history.
But once you get past Mussolini, there's a lot of genocide, so that's a concern. Oh, MXM going political. We don't like to talk politics here. Actually, I don't care about it, but I also just don't care about it.
I don't pay attention to it. I just assume that, unfortunately, things are probably going to be fine for me. So.
I also agree with that.
I know that's a terrible take, but I don't have the power to change anything. So.
If you were to choose a dong pick out of all the dictators, who would hit one? Probably Idi Amin. He's got kind of a robust build, if I recall. At least he was played by Forrest Whitaker, so I assume he's got kind of a chilly dance.
Are we counting people like Genghis Khan and dudes that were probably Viking warrior type cats?
Genghis Khan would probably be a good one because he was burly, and also Asian guys make great contact.
Yeah, he'd have been the Sadaharu O of dictators. I think I said that name right, and if I did, I'm pretty proud of myself.
Oh, Fidel Castro, good point. Young Fidel Castro, no, not old Fidel.
Oh yeah, he probably played a ton of baseball in Cuba too.
Oh yeah,
until he was fuck this country.
Even if he didn't have a cannon, I bet guys just struck out at him all the time because they're like, "What are you gonna hit one dong off of Castro?"
Isn't it weird to think about how these people went to school with other people? Somebody out there was yo, I went to school with Hitler. I don't know if Hitler went to school or got homeschooled or whatever the fuck, but if that was the case, somebody'd be like, yo, he was in my 3rd grade class. Dude was weird as fuck.
He was just an artist. He was just always scribbling on his notebooks or whatever.
I can't imagine what he was drawing. I picked, you know what he was probably drawing? He was probably drawing like super bad, just dicks. Dicks and dicks and dicks and dicks. Just notebooks filled with dicks. Big dick treasure chest.
I do feel like
baby, it's the new Friday. What up?
Kim Jong-un would have a good shot too, because he would just like, a guy would be standing in the outfield and he would like, they would blindfold and be like, oh, you hit a home run. They would just throw it over the fence.
I already can't remember which one's which.
Kim Jong-il was the original one. Kim Jong-un is the current husky one.
So I would have got that wrong right now. That's how little I pay attention to this shit.
Gotta keep
I
up
liked
with your
him
diction.
in The Dictator, or whatever that movie was with James Franco and Seth Rogen.
You're gonna get smoked in Dictator DFS.
I don't know anything about it. I don't follow anything. I don't give a shit about history whatsoever.
That's fair. I just pick it up over time. It's not my passion, but you just live. You just live through history. Like I lived through the Mussolini era and the.
I don't even believe that it's all real. Which is like the Earth is probably flat, you know?
That's true. It's all part of your game. All part of your Earth game.
I'm telling you, man. Whenever they upgrade Earth, we're gonna go away, just like the dinosaurs.
All right. If you have any either ors, get them in. If not, we're just gonna keep talking about dictators and dinosaurs. So.
What can we talk about? 2 of the games of weather. We have no idea whether, like, I can't tell you if that's going to get better or worse. There are 4 clearly good teams, in my opinion, today. I have all of them. Whether the weather works out for that, who knows?
It's fine. You know, the important thing is we tried. We filled an hour of time and with very weird conversation. And that's all that matters.
99% of the time, I don't believe what I'm saying anyway, so. I don't mean about DFS. I mean about just life.
I don't even know. Honestly, like if Jake and I had the slate, I don't know how the second half of this would have gone. No offense to Jake. It's just like we would have just talked, I think, we'd have taken either ors for an hour on a 4-game slate.
I finished 8th in that single entry. I was 3rd the last time I looked. That sucks.
Lowry or Pinder? Who would you go with?
I'm almost positive it's Pinder.
I
have more Pinder than Lowry, and I project him higher as well. So, Pinder.
It would also be Pinder for me. Safest pitchers, Jackson and Skaggs, given the weather. How do you feel about Edwin Jackson being a safe pitcher, Josh?
I have 0 Edwin Jackson. Literally 0 on an 8-game slate.
I would say I think that sounds about right to me, but I would also like I don't think the Colorado game is as unplayable as the Boston game is, or potentially. So I would probably still stick with Charlie Morton and Skaggs as the safest. But
for all intents and purposes, I have no Edwin Jackson, no James Shields, no Martin Perez. I have the other 5 guys in abundance.
So that means that from a game theory perspective, you guys should be playing Edwin Jackson, Martin Perez, and whoever that third, James Shields.
I'm sure one of them will be fine, but I don't know. I don't want them.
Yeah, that's fair. 1 minute left. Get your stuff in. Get your terrible lineups in.
My lineups are good. It's just the weather is terrible. I'm going to put my feet up. Start packing a bong or something.
Is there a chance Bundy outscores Shields without throwing a single pitch? Interesting theory, host Golden.
Yo, that'd be interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a chance that happens.
Yeah. I would say the odds are not necessarily in favor of that, but not an impossibility for both him, Perez, and Jackson, I would say.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's likely.
But not an impossibility.
Well, actually, Shields, right?
Yep.
Let's see how many times I have Shields going into the negative.
Aaron D. General So is not actually a real person. General So doesn't exist.
Nope, that's a made-up American food dish.
There's a great documentary about it. I think it's Search for General So. It's on Netflix. You should watch it. It's really good.
All right. I have James Shields going negative 10% of the time.
That's not bad. I mean, not great.
Yeah, that's Martin Perez is probably more than that.
Yikes.
Perez is 13%.
Oof. Fun slate.
That's probably a little aggressive, but I don't know. I'd have to look into it.
I think Perez has gone negative like 3 of his last 4 outings or something, if I recall correctly without looking it up.
And we're locked because why not?
Thank God.
I say we stick around. You want to play No Man's Sky and go look at the dinosaurs?
I mean, we can give one more minute or two if you want, but I gotta go to the gym. I gotta go to a movie premiere tonight.
What movie?
The Spy Who Dumped Me.
What? Who's in that?
Mila Kunis and Kate McKinnon. It's like a chick movie, but a friend has passes to go to the actual
I'm a huge Mila Kunis fan. I'm just sad that she fucks Austin Crozier.
I'm also Austin Crozier.
You don't know. Sorry, I didn't. You don't know that joke. That's a college joke.
Oh, I know Austin Crozier is a basketball player.
Yeah, a dude tried to say Ashton Kutcher in like an argument and went with Austin Crozier instead.
It's close.
Yeah.
No, Mila Kunis, I like. The one thing I don't like is when she was in Forgetting Sarah Marshall and those were not her breasts. That was upsetting.
Oh, they're not?
Nope. Photoshop.
If I wanted to look at fake nudes on the internet, I'd be me 20 years ago.
I appreciate you guys chat. See, this is why I do like the vast majority of chat, and I always want to point that out. Kevin McKay, I appreciate you. Spag surprisingly well versed in dictators. 10 out of 10 would stream again. Somebody else saying that they learned more about dictators and baseball statistics than they ever had in an hour. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for riding with us on this.
I got nothing.
You want to look up ownership or something? Is that a thing?
I don't know. I don't know what time the games start. What time do the games start?
I think the Red Sox game starts now, right?
Yeah, that's the only game. So
we should see who's owned in that.
All right.
I'm in the $10 today on DK.
I got the mini max here.
Let's see. I think I have Price. Price is still 26% owned in the $10 on DK.
Well, I have way more than that. I think. Alrighty, so David Price in the mini max is 30.5. I have 42.
I didn't realize I had as much Price as I did, so I guess I'm riding out that game.
Bundy is at 14, and that's what I have him. JD, wow, I think I'm way overweight on the Red Sox. JD Martinez, no, I'm pretty neutral. JD Martinez, 13. That's what I have him at. Sandy Leon, 13. I have 22. Mookie Betts, 12.5. I have 10. Okay. Nothing really interesting.
I wish I could like people's chat comments. I want people to know I appreciate what you're saying. Jason Kelly, you in particular. Is Jed Lowry still a fine play along with Pinder? Yeah, Lowry's fine. He's just not as good of a play as Pinder, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they're comparable.
Yep. I agree. All right. Josh, I go to UNCW. Any chance we can meet up? He's got a signed Muncie jersey for you. Host Golden does.
I used to work there. We might have walked past me on campus.
Why don't you we'll have a pop-up live event at UNC Wilmington.
There's a couple people in this chat from UNCW, actually.
Huh, that's interesting. Do you think they know, they found you because they searched, Wilmington area DFS?
Should I say this out loud? Fuck it, I don't care. So, I found a porn on Pornhub where the guy starts wearing a UNCW shirt. And it's a shirt that you would only get if you went to UNCW. It's not just like a generic logo. The printing has vendors and stuff on the back of it. There was clearly an event. I recognized the shirt immediately. I'm not I think my wife has a similar one. She went there.
Maybe she was part of the part of the shoot.
Is that a UNCW shirt? Does that girl live here? It freaked me out, man. I mean, UNCW is relatively big, but just still, of all the porn in the world.
Jake's home run pick, Zach's 27314 was Andrew Benintendi.
Did he go yard?
Mine was Mark Canha.
Did Jake get a home run already?
Some loser. But Chris and Joshua was your highest payout on DK. Mine was a little north of 5K playing NBA.
Did he really get a home run right now?
No. Did he?
I mean,
what?
Benny bomb, Benny, wow. He did.
Oh.
Jesus Christ, Jake. We didn't even get off the stream yet and it already happened.
Oh, I did play one Benintendi. Good for me.
Dude, is he in Slack yet talking shit?
No, he's not.
How are you not in the chat?
Well, 11%. So that was something which I would have pointed out if we weren't fading the game mostly, but Bundy really bad versus lefties.
I don't. Apparently, Jake is the new me.
Yeah, he's on a run. Look, we've all had runs. And one of us is due for one coming soon, so I can't wait. Oh, all hail Jake. That's fair, Jason Kelly.
Giancarlo, like $5,000 or something along those lines. I never. There's the JD Martinez homer too.
Oh, good. Boston stack. Thank God. Thank God that stack, which we are really worried about playing, is going off.
They're all hitting too many fucking home runs, man. You gotta wait for Devers. Don't get Bundy out of there yet.
I think it's time. I think it's time for them to just rain that game out, call it a day.
I assume that's going well for me.
Ugh. All right. Well, this is enough. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to subscribe to our iTunes feed. Just search Awesemo, AWESEMO on iTunes or your podcast app of choice, and you will find the podcast there. It'll have Jake's Night Shift. It'll have our NFL previews, so please go check that out. Thank you guys in the chat for tuning in as well. I appreciate all of you who aren't that one guy. You keep showing up, keep being funny. We appreciate that. Any parting words, Chubster?
Are we still on this?
We are. We are.
Thought I signed off. Ooh, Vince Carter, 1-year deal for the vet minimum with the Atlanta Hawks.
What? Why is he just going to shitty teams?
Dude likes money, I guess.
I know he wanted to play one more year, but the Hawks, what are the Hawks going to do with him? He'll provide some leadership. Good for them. Good for them.
I got nothing. Is he originally from Atlanta? That would be like the only thing that would make any sense to me.
I think he's from North Carolina.
Definitely went to North Carolina. The high school in Florida. From Daytona Beach, so.
Ah, okay. Good. The old spring break capital of the late 80s. He should be. That's right, McCarty should be the 15th man in Toronto. I agree. That'd be a fun way for him to end his career. All right, that's enough, guys. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys again soon.
Adios.